Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our CSI Secrets Store community call. It's August 8th. And just a reminder, this call is governed by the CNCF Code of Conduct. Please visit the repo to look up what the Code of Conduct is. TLDR, just be respectful to each other and you'll do well. We got a quick agenda. Looks like it's growing, so we'll get through it. I don't think I see any new members joining the call, so no need for intros. And with that, let's just go ahead and jump into the agenda. First item, we have Anish. He's going to talk about the moving of the Helm charts.
Yeah, so this is something that we thought about when we were actually doing the v0.2.0 release. Like today, the Helm charts are in the master branch, which means when we cut a release, we merge a PR to the cherry pick. We cherry pick the PR, we merge it to the release branch, cut a tag, and then we merge it to the master branch. And then one idea was maybe moving all the chart packages to GitHub pages so that the charts are always hosted in a single location there. So we had this idea and then opened a GitHub issue to just follow up. And then last week, I started looking into renaming the default branch from master to main, right? And then while going through that process, one thing we realized was with the change to main, the GitHub, the Helm charts URL will also need to be updated because today the Helm chart URL has master in the path. So what we were thinking was we anyways have to make the change, which is a breaking change, which means we have to tell users that the URL is updated, go use the new URL. So as part of that, we realized it's best to make the move to GitHub pages right now. And then also along with that, we can automate the generation of Helm charts and publishing using like GitHub Actions, right? So what we did was we created a GitHub pages branch and then moved all the existing packages to that. And then we also updated the Helm index to say, make all these packages available on the new URL. And then we merged the PR yesterday to actually add the GitHub actions, which will publish the Helm charts for us going forward when we cut a release. So the old URL is the raw.githubusercontent.com, the whole thing. But going forward, it's just going to be kubernetes6.github.io/ the repo name / charts. I added this so that we all are aware of it. But one other question that I had was, we are going through the process to rename from master to main. So I think now would be a good time for us to also update our documentation with the new URL for the charts so that users start using that. So I just wanted to see what other folks think on the call about it. Like instead of waiting for an actual release, I'm thinking if we can make the URL change right now in the README, then we can go ahead with the next steps for renaming master to main.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. I was just clicking on, so is the page up yet? Does it look like it's resolving?
No, so that you just need to do index.yaml after that in the URL because it's not an actual page, right? So if you do index.yaml after this, that is what Helm uses for the Helm charts.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so it's up, and all the packages that we have today on our GitHub, on our Helm repo, it's all available here for use as well. So it should be exactly the same.
Hey, Anish, I've got a question. So right now, right, like everyone has to, to upgrade, you have to know to type in the Helm upgrade commands, right? And will changing the repo, maybe you said this already, on an existing deployment, do we know if there's any issues like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the Helm repo add is a one-time process, right? So you do that once, and then subsequently is just Helm repo update to get the latest packages.
Yeah.
So once we change this, as long as master branch is still there, if you do a upgrade, you still won't have any issues. But once the master goes away and it gets renamed as main, then when the user tries to do a Helm upgrade, then it'll just say that this URL is not found, like something went wrong, go and check. And then when they come to our README, they'll see that we have changed the URL. So they just Helm repo update that URL that they have, and then when they do upgrade, it would work.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, and I think I was also supportive of doing this like earlier, before we mark a 1.0. And then during the release process, yeah, having the charts did make it so there's like 1 or 2 extra PRs and commits, like which adds what about like 40 minutes or so to the release process. So yeah, I think it makes the Git history more clear to do something like this. But yeah, thanks.
All right.
Yeah. So once
I'm sorry. Before we finish.
I was just going to say, if all folks think it's a good idea, then we'll make the change in the README. So when I say the README, Phil, can you just go to our repo once? I just want to.
Yep.
Yeah, and then charts. Scroll all the way up, charts, and then secret store CSI driver, and then scroll down a little bit. There. So basically, when I say update the README in the Helm repo ad, we are going to update it to the new URL today or tomorrow. And once we do that, we will add a note in the documentation saying the URL has been updated. We'll also post it on Slack, and then maybe also send it out to the mailing list so that we tell users that, look, this URL is changed, start using the new URL for all the Helm packages.
Yeah, I think we'll also want to update the like we have that upgrade doc on in the book. We'll just add a note there and in the release docs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we even like include a banner for some time period, or you think the docs is enough?
So you mean a banner in the docs?
Yeah, something maybe on the, just say, hey, we've updated the Helm chart location, etc. I don't know.
Yeah, I think somewhere where it stands out for a while. I think maybe we can actually add a banner in the docs. I can look into that, which will just show up everywhere so that as soon as the user opens it, the first thing that they see is that. But that's a good idea.
Yeah, just maybe around, I don't know, wherever we're saying, maybe part of the install steps or something like that.
Yeah. I'll look at it.
All right, so we went through that and the renaming of master to main. Next up, we have Dane. Dane's gonna take us through a demo of the updated sync all feature. Dane, let me go ahead and elevate you up to share your screen.
Awesome.
Okay, you should have controls, and I'll go ahead and stop sharing and take it away.
Okay, let's see here. Desktop one. Can y'all see my VS Code? Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I will try to make this quick and painless. So I kind of altered the sync all option because what I had last time would only allow syncing all listed secrets within one opaque secret type. So I wanted to accommodate the different secret types for Kubernetes. So with this first one, the behavior would be kind of as expected. We'd get secrets named username and password, and those would be their keys. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste. There we go. And just to confirm, the key is also password. We'll have a look at the YAML, and there we go. So that one's all in well. But then one of the trickier parts was accommodating for secrets always being unique, even if the key was the same. I didn't want to have any of the secrets overriding each other. So this example has username in like the root directory of the secret mount, but then I have nested secrets as well. So we'll go ahead and apply the update. And if we get the secrets, I made the name of the secret based on the path where it was mounted. So in this case, with the update, they were both mounted within a nested directory and then the secret name. And then if we get the key again, it should just be, it should still be password. So the key doesn't change, it's just the name to keep it unique. So no secrets are interfering with each other. And then again, to show that you can also include sync all with this with an opaque secret object. So with this behavior, all of these secrets would be included under as keys and values in DB secret. So we'll go ahead and quickly apply that update. And we see DB secret. And we'll go ahead and look at the keys. So again, to accommodate for similar naming, I went ahead and made the keys based on the nested structure of the path so that these wouldn't interfere. And yeah, that's pretty much the meat of the feature. I have a couple other examples here. We'll just go through the TLS example. So I'm mounting 2 certificates. And then if we just look at one of them, we can see like the key and both the keys have the required values for TLS. So TLS.cert, TLS.key. The user would only have to refer to them as TLS secrets. They wouldn't have to actually worry about creating these keys. And that behavior is the same for SSH and basic auth as well in the Docker config JSON.
So I have a question here, right? So in this TLS example, you have cert1 and cert2. How is the driver is the driver parsing the cert and the key file from that cert1 file, or are we still using these deterministic file names that will tell us that this is a cert and this is a key?
There was that, yeah, you brought up that the driver was smart enough to distinguish between the key and the certificate. So I just utilized that same behavior that's already there. So I'm pretty sure when I'm mounting these, the certificate and the key are within the same file.
Got it. Okay. But in this also, this example has cert1 and cert2, right? So in the TLS secret, which one is being added?
Oh, it's both of them.
Oh, got it. Oh, it creates a secret for each one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that behavior was a little bit difficult for me to follow, of like, when is it doing multiple keys within one secret versus when is it splitting out into 2 secrets. But yeah, I guess I'll look more at the PR on that to kind of try to understand that.
Yeah, this is what the certificate will look like. So it has the key and the certificate within the same file. And then I was just using existing functions within the driver that split these up. So I think it was tricky to think of how to like mount just the certificate as a file and just the key as a file, and also accommodate like the fact that a TLS secret in Kubernetes needs both of those keys, TLS.cert and TLS.key. I thought this existing behavior made it a little easier to accommodate for the fact that we needed those keys in the secret.
Could you open the syncall opaque? I think that was your first secret provider class. And
I'm sorry.
did this yeah. Here I see the syncall true, but this synced to two separate secrets, not one secret. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then where was the other one?
This one?
Maybe to update. Yeah. This one did all of those paths to the same secret, right?
Yes.
What was the what is controlling that difference? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if sync options dot sync all is true, then it'll sync each listed secret as an individual secret. So it would just be one key value pair. But if you do sync all, if you do secret objects at an index dot sync all is true, then it'll sync every mounted secret to the listed secret.
2.1. Oh, okay. Sorry, can you go back to the previous email just for a second? I just want to see the difference there. Okay, so here it doesn't define a, was it a synced
secret objects?
The
Yeah,
secret
there's
objects.
secret objects in this one.
Okay. Okay.
That hey Dan, I have like quick couple questions. Like that, can you go to that other file, like sync all, the one on the right?
This
Yeah,
one?
correct. So, is this secret object? Okay, first of all, is this like a secret provider class? Like, can you scroll up? Right, it is a secret provider class, right? The one that. Oh, I mean.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is a secret provider class.
Okay, so the secret objects we have is like the key that we are using right now as well, correct?
Yes, this
Okay.
is already there.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. The other question that I have is, so like if we have defined secret objects and if we have this sync all is equals to true, then we are going to create multiple keys within that single secret called DB secret. And in that case, when we have these similar keys like username, we are appending or we are creating the keys with the path, right? So in that case, it will be username and then nested hyphen username. How does the pod will refer it? Like do or when I refer it in the pod, should I be expected of this change or of this what we can say pattern, that it will be synced like this and hence my pod should refer it like this? Is that the expectation?
Let me quickly like bring those particular secrets up, and I might need some clarification on your question, but maybe would it help if I went into the pod? So like here, because we have sync all is true under sync options, and we have some nested structures. So we have username and password in here, and we also have those in nested. So those secret names should all, it was just a way to accommodate the uniqueness of the secret name. So so that we could get all 4 secrets in here.
Correct. So I think mount is fine. So like mount, we will mount it in the directory of, I mean, whatever the name that we have given over here. What I was thinking here is, since we are syncing this as a Kubernetes secret, probably user will be using that either as an environment variable or directly as a Kubernetes secret, right? So if they are not referring the mount, and if they're referring either Kubernetes secrets or from the environment variable, then do they know that they have to be, or they will be of this name, or the key will be of this name, like nested hyphen username?
Yeah, I think so. Like down here as an environment variable, I'm referencing it as that changed name. And I think for a user to like predict that, they would just have to understand how to use the feature. Because one of the things with the like syncing all of them is, instead of listing them out individually, is that you lose the freedom to choose the name of each secret.
Right. Correct. So I think, yeah, and this is what I was sort of expecting. So we should have some sort of examples and documentation probably around this, because new user might not, I mean, unless they go through the implementation, they wouldn't know like what the final name will be, or what they can provide over there.
Right. I agree.
Cool. Yeah, that's it from me. Thanks. It was really good demo.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Jane.
Thank you.
Okay, we got one item left. Nalek, that's you, and we're looking at a PR here, right?
Right.
I think I have it open
Yeah.
here. They implement the EDE provider.
If you can go, I mean, you can scroll all the way down. Like there is a comment on the PR. So let me give a like quick context. So we wanted to implement like a end-to-end E2E provider or the mock provider. So we don't have to run our test against each individual cloud provider's provider. And that way we can be quick and more consistent in our end-to-end testing and whatnot. There were like couple different options as to how to do it. So one was to just return a static secret values or secrets, and we don't have to rely on any of the custom logic per se. There was one, there is an issue related to this implementation, which talks about having Kubernetes secret, Kubernetes secrets as like a pseudo store or pseudo keyword, so that we actually create those secrets over there. And when the mock provider is being called, mock provider will talk to Kubernetes APIs or like the secret APIs, get the secrets, and then return those fake secrets per se. So the what we want to understand is like, so one of the point that Anish brought here is we will still having, if we go with the Kubernetes secret route to implement this or to get this mock secrets, then we still be having dependency on the Kubernetes API server, and that, I don't know, like if, for example, like if API server is down, our mock or E2E provider will not be able to return anything. So and so the best practice probably, or the best way to do that probably too, is just return the hard coded value or the static value as a secret, rather than relying on in any kind of a secret provider. So just want to understand like what everybody thinks could be, the good approach to do that. And both works, by the way. Like initially I had it with the static values, like I was not using any provider, And the only problem there is like how to handle or how to test the rotation. So like sort of brainstorm it yesterday with Anish, and we'll try to implement that and we'll figure it out. But then I checked the issue and which talked about this Kubernetes as Kubernetes secrets as like a pseudo vault kind of thing. So I updated the implementation to that. So yeah, both works. So I just want to get the community's idea as to what do you all think should be the good approach.
I think I'll need to look at the PR more. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet, but I don't think for this provider, I don't think we would want to mention any implementation. Like, I don't think we would want a fake vault or like a fake Azure or GCP or something.
Okay.
Yeah, since it is just like a fake provider, I don't think we care about the security really. Yeah, I think even just like raw secret values and secret provider classes, or I think would be fine. Kubernetes secrets, I think, are a little bit different. That might be more okay to reference in the implementation, but it might also add more complexity. And yeah, I think keeping it as simple as possible.
Yeah, the way. Sorry. Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
That's okay. The way that this currently implemented is, so like if you see right here, like it says the populate vault. So what it does basically is it goes ahead and create a bunch of Kubernetes secrets. And then we actually get the mount request in the fake provider. It will just do the Kubernetes API calls for secrets and just get those exact secrets. So that's the additional part. So like it's just a interface implemented which is backed by the Kubernetes secrets, for example. So if we have to cut this out, we don't have to do all these things. So like within that same mount function, we can just return like hard-coded value. So like this is the secret, and we are just returning it. And then for rotation, we will figure it out how to implement the rotation. Because for rotation, we'll have to externally first change the value of secret and say that like it's rotated, and then our provider will go again and try to fetch it, and we'll then get the updated value. So we will figure that part out. Should not be that difficult.
Yeah, I think like the reason that I added that comment was if we trim it down and then make it just static values, then we never have to debug provider, like just to provide context on the comment. So we just need to test the driver logic, and we need something on the other end giving us a gRPC response with files in it. And
right.
It can be anything. And with this, it's just a lot simpler where it's a deterministic value. So like we can always check on the driver that this is the value from the E2E provider. And then for rotation again, like I think we discussed, so we can do that.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, a number of like test frameworks, right, have like a return X value and then return like Y value. So like we could, I don't think we should get too fancy with like a language for returning like for the rotation flow, but we could do something where like the secret provider class tells it to like on the first request do X and on the second do Y.
Yeah, I think one thing is the driver actually sends the pod name and namespace today to the provider. So one idea that we had was just have a map internally, and then the first time the request comes in, add the pod name namespace to the map, and then return the first value X. And then the next time when it comes, if it's in the map, just return Y. If it's not, then return X and then add to map.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
cool.
Yeah. Less code is always better, in my opinion.
Sure. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, if all agrees, I'll revert back to the static values and update the PR accordingly.
All right. Thanks a lot.
I'm going to quote Tommy on the notes.
Yes, that was a really good quote.
All right. That takes us to the end of our agenda today. Any other comments or any other topics anyone wishes to bring up before we end the call? Okay, silence is no. Sorry.
So yeah,
Anish.
I was just going to say we had the VO.2.0 release last week, following the release schedule that we have, and then the V1.0 is planned for September, mid-September. So if there are any issues that you think should be part of V1.0 blocker, like please feel free to open a GitHub issue, and then we can get it added to the stable milestone. But in terms of us as a community, that's what we're going to be working for in the next couple of weeks to get the 1.0 release out.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay. All right. That looks like that's going to be it for us today. Next meeting will be September 2nd, actually in the next couple of weeks. I'll get the recording out ASAP, and I'll also post it to the Slack channel as well for the community. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next call.